Action Point is the new comedy starring Johnny Knoxville, and basically it's based off of the true story about this place called Action Park. I don't know if it was. I never researched it, so I don't know. I can imagine it didn't go exactly as how this movie went. I mean, if it did, then holy shit. Johnny Knoxville plays the owner of Action Point, which is notorious for having no rules, and basically his mentality is that if the kids get hurt, it's their own damn fault, which is a pretty funny setup. And one thing that really drew me to this movie was that a lot of the stunts and the pranks and stuff like that. Well, like whenever you see somebody get hurt, they're actually getting hurt. Like if you see Johnny Knoxville getting flung into a barn, that's actually Johnny Knoxville getting flung into a barn. If you see Johnny Knoxville, rolling on this little weird roller coaster thing and get flung off and smack into the ground, he's actually doing that and probably got himself very injured. And so I was really anticipating this movie, especially since I love the Jackass movies. I feel like the Jackass movies are some of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. But when I noticed the reviews weren't that good, I was like, what? But then I was, thinking, maybe it's like, the Jackass movies where where those movies got bad reviews, but whatever. Like, I disagree with them because I'm in on the joke. I get the comedy. But walking out of Action Point, I was disappointed. I don't think it's as awful as everyone says it is. Like, I don't think, it's like the kind of movie that's worth not around less than 20% of the critics liking it. But like I said, this movie wasn't that strong. Now let me talk about what did work. For one, Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville is once again proving that he can actually be a pretty good actor. And I just from his acting in this movie, I can see just hints of what he could do in the future. Because I believe if he was given the right roles, Johnny Knoxville could be an incredible, well, maybe not Daniel Day-Lewis level, but he could be a great actor one day. And while he's certainly not bad in this. He's pretty good. I can just see that potential, and I really want him to do more stuff like this. Also, speaking of which, let's talk about the stunts he does in this movie. This guy is like nearing 50, or maybe he is in his 50s, I don't know. He has asthma. I've heard he has a lot of allergies and a lot of health problems. I don't know how this guy keeps doing all this. Obviously it hurts because you see him get hurt, but I don't know how he just keeps doing this. This kind of stuff. He just continues to just beat himself up over and over again just for our entertainment, regardless of whatever health problems he has. Especially the asthma thing. The dude has fucking asthma and he's still doing this. So yeah, Johnny Knoxville I think is just very commendable talent, and I want to see him do more stuff. And apparently, another guy, member of the Jackass crew is in this. I forget his name. You know him when you see him. I mean, he's pretty good. I don't think I've ever seen him act before in a movie. But he's not quite on the level of Johnny Knoxville in terms of acting, but he's still pretty good. And of course, the stunts by everybody, again, is just really commendable. I love it whenever actors can do their own stunts, and I'm not sure if all the actors were doing their own stunts. I don't know. But if they were, that's very commendable of them. I mean, I know I could never do it. I mean, maybe I could probably do a fight scene, but I could never fling myself into a fucking barn. That's insane. But let me talk about the things that didn't work about this movie. Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa had a similar style to this movie, where it was a real story intertwined with jokes and pranks and stuff and stunts. But somehow it doesn't really work all that well in this movie, and I'm wondering why. I think one of the reasons is that with Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa, there were people who weren't in on the joke. Like when, Johnny Knoxville in Bad Grandpa, or Irving in that movie, smashes his car into into a penguin on like a penguin statue at this one guy's shop. The guy comes out and starts yelling at him. Like the guy's actually pissed off, and Johnny Knoxville just did that for the movie. So the fact that there were people reacting to all the stuff made it all the more funnier. I don't know if that's I don't know if I said that correctly, but oh well. With this, even though it's still pretty funny seeing the actors do stupid, really stupid, dangerous stuff, it's not as funny if there are people who aren't in on the joke and they're just witnessing this whole thing. Another issue is that, again, I'm trying to figure out how Bad Grandpa did this better because it's not done that well in this movie. I didn't really feel the drama. The drama kind of, like, whenever there was dramatic stuff, it didn't fit well in this movie. Maybe the comedy wasn't as funny, or maybe this movie was tackling, serious issues, or maybe this was doing it more than the comedy. I don't know, but, I feel like with Bad Grandpa, again, I don't like comparing movies, but Action Point just doesn't really seem to find that really good balance of drama and comedy, unlike a lot of other comedies, especially Bad Grandpa. And I will also say that some of the jokes weren't funny. Like, whenever there's a joke that doesn't involve somebody getting hurt, it kind of falls flat. Or, like, I mean, well, there's some exceptions, like, especially this one scene that happens in a newsroom or a news office. I don't know where it is, but, or like a news broadcast place. You'll know it when you see it. When something happens to a character as he's under a table, oh my god, it's so funny. But yeah, for the most part, there were a lot of there were parts of the comedy where I didn't really find all that funny, and like I said, it especially didn't help whenever there was a lot of the dramatic stuff being put in the movie. Although I will say another great thing about this movie is the makeup. Whenever like when you see Johnny Knoxville as the old man character, or actually it's the same character you see in the movie, it's just he's older. My god, like, that makeup looks really fucking good. I think, like, I'll have to see what other movies come out, but so far I think this could be a good shoo-in for best makeup and hairstyling at the Oscars next year. Fingers crossed, because this actually looks really fucking good. But however, like I said, for the most part, Action Point was a disappointment. It wasn't as funny as I was hoping it would be. And also, like I said, it never really found the right balance between comedy and drama. And there were a few parts of the movie where it felt pretty slow. And so yeah, I don't think Action Point is terrible, but I can't say I recommend it. It's bad, but it's not like, it's not going to even come in, it's not even going to be in the discussion of worst movie of the year. And so I'm going to be giving Action Point a 4 out of 10. Again, I was really looking forward to Action Point, especially coming from especially since I'm a huge Jackass fan. Sorry that this review is late. I'm trying to do some life stuff. But here's a question. What do you think of Action Point? Have you seen Action Point yet? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like. Share the video so we can get the channel circulated. Don't forget to support my Patreon on my Patreon page. And if you want to see more, click this.